So today I'm going to review a video by Vusi about what's the hallmarks of wealth and OPM, other people's money. So let's jump into this.
Joke that was told, right, by Chris Rock, the comedian, and he spoke about the difference between being wealthy and rich. And he says,
Shaq is rich. The white man that signs his check is wealthy.
this idea that there is a difference between rich and wealthy. And so what I thought I would do today is talk about the hallmarks of wealth. In my mind, there are 5 ways to build wealth, but also live wealthy. The first one is that wealthy people understand OPM, other people's money. And the way to do that is first to manage your own finances well. Study the history of those who've built really, really large businesses. In South Africa, we talk about somebody, for instance, like Adrian Gore, who raised 100 million rand when he started Discovery. Why raise 100 million rand from funders? Because even though he was creating wealth, he understood that OPM would take him to his destination far quicker than trying to save money. So the first hallmark of creating wealth is OPM.
I agree, right? OPM, other people's money, is phenomenal, but I'm going to take it into another level. So when you're thinking OPM, right, you're thinking about leverage. There's only so much money you have. If you're able to pool resources, you're going to be able to spin faster. Right? What do I mean by spin faster? Okay, now I can, instead of just hiring 2 people, I can hire 10, right? Instead of just buying one key piece of machinery, I can buy a whole plant, right? So it's allowing you to be able to spin faster. However, to get to that point, you have to prove that you're already good with resource allocation, right? People give you money because they think you're going to do better with it than they can. For us to believe, investors to believe, speaking from my investor lens on, for us to believe that you're going to do better with it than I can, I have to see you doing better with your own money than I'm doing, or close to it, right? Or seeing, okay, you're doing that because you have less. You don't have to do equal because maybe there's not enough opportunities for you. But I'm seeing, wow, you're doing really well. I think if we gave you more, you're going to really skyrocket. In August, invested 30K into them, and they were asking me for more money. So I was saying, no, I don't feel comfortable based on what has happened and transcribed since then. The founder still wasn't getting my point. And so I said, okay, tell me, what's the breakdown? How has my investment done since this point? Because you made certain assurances, you made certain promises. What's going on? I'm not going to share some of the confidential conversation there. Now let's compare that. Let's see what happened here. Let's compare that. At the point where I made my investment into you, I was evaluating putting that 30K in several different places. One was the stock market, another was in Bitcoin. Let's look at where Bitcoin was. Bitcoin was about 58K, 59,000 at that point. 59,000 to 62,000 at that time. So I showed him the chart. This is the date I was looking at investing in Bitcoin. Look at where it's at now, right? So you have to understand, when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at, okay, what did you do with my money? And is it a better investment than placing it other places, right? So that's one of the key drivers to look at wealth. I know I went on the side, but that's something to know. Now, regarding just another side, since I'm on top, regarding Shaq. Shaq is wealthy now. Before he was rich, he is wealthy now, and he's been wealthy for quite some time. Shaq owns several franchises. He owns businesses. He owns intellectual property and assets. Shaq is wealthy. He's in the wealth class. So that's an aside. Now, back to another major thing I want us to think about when raising money, right, and wealth. Sometimes you're getting investors not because you need the money. You want the person and you want their connections, right? Sometimes it's not about you having all the wealth. You need other people to have portions of the wealth, because it's easier just to attack you and take down your company if it's all about your company. Now, if you have the wealth and you spread it out and a few other key people have the wealth, then more people are pulling together and they're like, no, don't mess with this company because that affects my interests too. Right? So something to think about strategically as you're building up your company, you're building up your organization, is who am I going to allow to have a piece of the pie, not only because of the investment, but also strategically because they're going to help me fight certain things and defend me from certain things.
Now, my last point I'll say on this is, remember we started talking about track record with this. Bringing in your investors, I want us to think about how can you make them wealthy? Think about how many billionaires has Jeff Bezos made? How many billionaires has Elon Musk made, etc.? Are you creating billionaires and millionaires with your company, or thousandaires? Whatever it is, are you creating great wealth? Why? Because your next venture, people are going to really get behind it. And you're going to build this alliance of people. Hey, I want to do deals with him because this person, whoever works with them, they become wealthy. And so when you start your next venture, people want to jump into you, they want to invest in you, etc. So don't just say, hey, I'm capitalizing it, I'm building networks. Think about, this is how I'm going to be able to accomplish my full vision. I'm going to focus on making other people wealthy, because when you're making them billionaire, you're probably going to be a billionaire yourself as well.
What you think about OPM? Write that down in your comments. Do you believe, would you take other people's money, or do you want to have 100% for yourself? Now, something I asked, I would love for you to comment any other videos you would like me to react to, share my thoughts, reflect on, etc. Share that, comment that below. And if we do, we'll shout you out in the video. My name is Achumba Otande. This is Business and Life Advice with Otande Advisors. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And please share this video with somebody who would find this useful. With all that said, God bless you. Have a phenomenal week.